Shalom, children. In our story last time, we heard about two types of blindness. There was the Pharisee leaders, who were the blind leading the blind, and there was a blind man from Bethsaida, who had his eyesight restored after being taken by the hand and led out of the city. We continue our story today with Yeshua, who was praying alone. The disciples went up and sat with him. Yeshua asked them, "Who do men say that I am?" They gave several responses. One of the disciples answered, "Some say that you are Yochanan the Immerser, or that you are Elijah the prophet or Jeremiah." Yeshua looked at the men. "But who do you say that I am?" Shimon Kepha spoke up, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim." Yeshua told Shimon this understanding was not revealed by men's reasoning, but was shown to Shimon by the Father. He then told them that he was going up to Jerusalem. There he would suffer at the hands of the sages and the Pharisee leaders. He was going to be killed and would rise again on the third day. Well, the men didn't like the sound of that. Shimon Kepha took Yeshua to one side and said to him that he thought this sounded like a terrible idea and that he did not want such a thing to happen to his teacher. Yeshua explained to Shimon that this was the plan of Elohim, that Shimon was thinking like a man only concerned about the things of this world. He told the group following the way of Torah would sometimes make their lives difficult. You see, children, disciples of Yeshua will make choices that cause others to be upset and perhaps not like them. For example, a friend may ask you one day to do something you know is not right, something that would cause you to break the commands of Adonai. If you tell your friend no, do you think they are going to be happy about it? No, they are not. They may even call you rude names and tell others mean things about you. Yeshua knew all of this, and he wanted to encourage his followers. He asked them, "What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul?" What this means is, if we want to gain the whole world, that is, we want everyone to like us, we want to be powerful or have lots of money, we will have to say what the world says, we will have to do what the world wants to do, and this will often mean breaking the commandments of Adonai. But the kingdoms of this world are only temporary, and will one day all pass away. It would be better for us if we spend our time and effort working for a future, eternal kingdom of Elohim. As Yeshua said, following him would sometimes be difficult. But we need to remember it is the narrow path that leads to life. When we are busy serving earthly kingdoms and seeking after temporary things, it is easy to forget all about Adonai and his instructions. We could even become embarrassed to say that we believe in the Father and the kingdom. Yeshua gave a very strong warning to those who desire to follow him. He said, "Whoever shall be ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man shall be ashamed of him when he comes in glory." He finished teaching by saying, "Truth I say to you, there are some who stand here which shall not taste death before they have seen the kingdom of Yah come with power." They must have all been wondering what that could possibly mean. 3 of the taught ones were soon to find out. 6 days later, Yeshua called his closest disciples, Shimon Kepha, Yaakov, and Yohanan, and led them up a high mountain to pray. As Yeshua prayed, the taught ones saw his appearance begin to change. His face shone as brilliant as the sun, and his garments became as a bright white light. The 3 disciples saw a vision of Moshe and Eliyahu talking with Yeshua about the kingdom. The scene before them was so incredible, the men became terrified. Shimon didn't know what to say, so he suggested they could build 3 tabernacles, 1 each for Yeshua, Moshe, and Eliyahu. Suddenly, a cloud overshadowed them all, and a voice was heard coming out of the cloud. "This is my beloved Son. Hear and obey him." At once the disciples fell onto their faces in great fear. Yeshua went over to the 3 men and told them not to be afraid. When they looked up, the vision had ended. All 4 traveled back down the mountain. As they walked, Yeshua told them not to tell anyone about what they had seen until the Son of Man had risen from the dead. Shimon Kepha, Yaakov, and Yohanan talked amongst themselves, wondering just what rising from the dead could possibly mean. A few days later, they were all gathered together back in the Galilee. Whilst Yeshua was teaching the taught ones, he reminded them how the Son of Man was going to be betrayed into the hands of men. He would be killed, and on the 3rd day he was going to be raised. The men did not understand, but they were too afraid to ask Yeshua what he meant by all this talk about suffering and rising from the dead. But a few months later, it would all make much more sense when everybody went up to Jerusalem for the appointed time of Pesach. Well, children, that is the end of our story for today. So we will see you next time for another exciting journey in the life of Yeshua. Shalom.
He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers nor sleeps, neither slumbers nor sleeps. He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers